As Christians, we are often guilty of taking Bible verses out of their context. And when we do that, we often end up thinking that a verse is saying something that it's not actually saying. One of the reasons that we do this, I think, is we're often coming to the Bible asking the question, what does this verse mean to me? What does this verse mean for my life today? We're not usually as concerned about asking the question, what did this verse mean in its original context, in its grammatical, literary, and historical context? And so in this video series, I'm trying to take some well-known Bible verses and put them back into their context to ask if the way we've understood them is really what they truly mean. So one of the verses that I think is a very popular verse that is often taken out of context is Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. It's the kind of verse that you see often on athletes, on their eye black, on a tattooed on their body. And it goes like this. It says, I can do everything through him who gives me strength. I can do everything through him who gives me strength. It sounds out of context like a real confidence booster. Something that is declaring that nothing is impossible for God, and therefore nothing's impossible for me, nothing that I can't achieve, so long as I have God on my side. I can defeat the enemy, I can win the big game, I can make the big sale, I can get the girl, I can do it all because God is with me. But is that really what Paul meant when he wrote the verse? Let's put it back in its context and see what Philippians 4:13 really means. If I go back to verse 10, this is what it says. Paul says, I rejoice greatly in the Lord that at last you have renewed your concern for me. Indeed, you have been concerned, but you had no opportunity to show it. I'm saying this not because I'm in need, for I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do everything through him who gives me strength. So when you put it back in context, is Paul just saying this as a big confidence booster to encourage you that because God's on your side, you can do whatever you want? No, I think in the context, he's thanking the Philippians for a financial gift that they've given to him. But he wants them to know that even if they did not give, that he's okay. He's good. He is content. In fact, he says, I've learned the secret of being content in any situation, whether I've got all the money I need or no money at all, whether I'm well fed or whether I'm hungry. The secret, he says, is that I can do everything through him who gives me strength. In the context, this is a passage, a verse about contentment, not about achievement. It's about being content with what we have, no matter the circumstances, not about achieving whatever it is we're hoping to achieve. Paul's saying that I can do everything that God has called me to. It doesn't matter whether I have a lot of food or a little food, a lot of money or a little money, whether things are going my way or not going my way. As long as God is on my side, as long as he's called me to this work, he will provide everything I need. In Christ, I have all the resources that I need. And I think this is such an important message for us to know that even if we don't win the big game, even if we don't get the girl, even if we don't make the big sale, we can be content because in God we have everything we need. We have all the resources we need to live a life of love, joy, peace, and righteousness. We can do everything through Christ who gives us strength.